Oh, I thought the journey was like just a I thought it
That's
Just
a
a quick,
light,
yeah,
just
quick.
in and out.
I swear to God, I thought the journey was just like from here reach there, and I didn't know.
Mm,
This is not what you told my parents. Like, I don't understand.
yeah.
And she told me, yeah, in Italy there is no job. The only thing you can do here is just prostitution, and you can always sell yourself and get money. I was like, what? I'm 15. Like,
Hello, and
Hi.
welcome back to another amazing episode of Japa Diaries podcast. We talk about the experiences of African immigrants in the diaspora. Today we have somebody who is not in the American diaspora, as many of our guests are.
Mm-hmm.
We have a diasporan in the Europe end of things, and we have a diasporan whose route to immigration is different from most guests, but generally not that uncommon. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mercy. Mercy, welcome to the
Hi,
podcast.
Mercy. Hi,
I
Mercy. I'm really excited about this episode. I feel like we're going to get, a different perspective from most of our general conversations.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I'm excited to hear about Mercy's story.
Yeah. So you asked me how I met Mercy. I haven't actually met Mercy before. So
Okay.
I was out South by Southwest. Fun story. And I saw this like VR short film on like migration to Europe, like
Uh-huh.
African migration to Europe, specifically West Africans to Italy and but going through Libya. So doing the land route of actually crossing like different West African country borders, making it to Libya and then crossing via boat sea to end up in Libya.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a
To
fictional
end up in
story.
Libya or end up
Sorry, end
in
up in
Europe?
Italy, in
Okay, so
Europe.
Italy in particular. Okay.
And one of it's fictional, but like it's sort of narrated by this it's narrated by some immigrants themselves and then also inspired by their stories. And so I went to look at some of the background stories there and I came across Mercy's story and I literally messaged the director and said, can I talk to Mercy, please? Because I feel like her story was just we need to hear this story, especially because most of our audience is Nigerian, right? And I wanted them to get a perspective of what somebody else's Jackpot experience can look like. Yeah. So, Marcy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi.
Yeah. Mercy, are you aware of the term Japa?
Yeah, I mean, Patricia told me about the podcast, and I read some things. So yeah,
Mercy is prepared.
Mercy is prepared. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so we'll we're gonna talk about your Jackpot story in entirety, I guess.
yeah.
But some questions to sort of like set the scene. Can you tell me can you tell us what growing up in Nigeria was like? Like what was life before, you know, the
Yeah.
travels?
Okay, so it was not easy at all. I mean, let me say, at first everything was fine because my grandfather he was really, let me say, he was really wealthy, so he was fine financially. And then when I lost my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather and my uncle, uh, my grandparents' first son, and that's when all the challenges of my life started, because
Okay.
I was living with my uncle because my uncle couldn't have any kids, so my mom has to give me to my uncle. Say, okay, just take care of her, and make her yours. And everything was good. I was going to private school. My life was okay. I was so happy. I was like the happiest kid. And then everything just collapsed after I lost my grandfather and my uncle. It was just like the world was against me, and it was I was moving
How
from.
old are you?
Oh, right now.
No, at the time when
At
your
the
uncle
time,
passed, yeah.
at the time I was 10 years old. Um,
Okay.
uh,
Are you the last born?
Last born of my mom. I'm the firstborn of my mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so everything. Let me say, everything went like very rough for me because I was moving from house to house, from one auntie's house to the other auntie's house, and you know the way Nigerian auntie is. Any small thing they just like hit you for over just
Mm-hmm.
little things, and it's really annoying. And so I had a lot of bullyism at school. At the time, I didn't know it was bullyism. I didn't even know if that was bullyism or something. I was just like, okay, this kid's just hitting me or they just want to annoy me. So I don't really care back then. And I thought that my mom used to tell me, when someone did something to you, someone hit you, someone insult you, just don't think about it. Don't say nothing. You are strong. She used to tell me that I'm strong. I shouldn't react to all this insult and people hitting on me. So I grew up actually thinking that it was fine not to cry. It was fine to be strong. It was fine not to show people your tears. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then my auntie got tired of me, and she said she couldn't take care of me. And I felt rejected by my mom because I told my mom I wanted to stay with her, and she was going through a
Mm-hmm.
divorce with my dad, and they got divorced. So I was like, my dad took my brother, my younger brother, with him, and my mom took me. And
Mm.
every time I would ask for my mom uh, to take me to my dad or to take me to my younger brother, my mom will always say, "Hey, no, your dad took your brother, so you can't see your dad." And
Mm.
I actually grew up with that. After the divorce of my parents, I grew up without even knowing much about my dad. And then
Mm-hmm.
I got to my mom's. My mom took me to our best friend's house, and I started staying there. Everything was good. Everything was fine. And I was angry because I didn't feel loved by my parents. I was angry because
Yeah.
what a kid at my age back then should have, I didn't have it. I knew something was
Yeah.
missing for my life, and I knew that I was not welcome in that place. I was not welcome in that country, even if I was born there. I was not welcome. I knew something was off. I knew I needed to go somewhere, but I didn't know where.
Start
And
over.
yeah, and at 13, I was already in this my mom's friend's house, and and I mean, all the bad stuff started happening. Bad things happened to me in that house. At first, it was all good. It was all good, and I think being 13, a teenage back then, it was crazy because I did stupid stuff like lying, and I lied.
Mm.
I lied about something that I shouldn't have done. But I was 13. I was just a teenager. I was just a leader. I was just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have been corrected in a certain way, not in getting beaten. And I was getting beaten, throat pepper, and I got maltreated, pepper in my
Mm.
eyes, pepper in my private parts, and
Mm.
because I steal money. And the reason why I steal money was because I was bullied at school, and my bullying told me that, hey, if you don't bring money, we're going to beat you up and beat up your brother. And that brother that they call him my brother, he's not my brother, he's my auntie's friend's son. So since I don't want him to get beat up when he's coming back from school, because he always come back from school late by 5, and the road is really small and sometimes dark. So I wouldn't want him.
You're trying to protect him, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to take money. I did that only twice, and for that I got beaten with cane, broke on my body,
Did they know
bet.
why you were taking the money?
No, they didn't know. Up till now, I didn't tell anybody. And and what happened was that I did this thing twice. And since I got beaten at school and beaten at home, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to take money away from home anymore.
Is it?
Is
Yeah.
I prefer it to beat me at school, beat me up at school. It's more better to beat me up at school because the beating was too much. It wasn't that I steal the money like this. It was just me being smart. They tell me to buy something. I go there, I price the thing, instead of maybe 15 naira, I price the thing to be 10 naira. Then the other change, I take it and hide it. That was the steal I steal. And so when they find that there's even a couple, 1 naira is missing. So that's what happened. So after then, I got tired because I couldn't explain why I took this money. Because if I explained why, I knew I would be beaten, and I didn't like the way I was beaten. There was there's a way to punish a child.
Yeah.
There's a way to punish a child, and they didn't discipline me well. There's a way to discipline a child.
Yeah.
There's a way, if you want to hit a child, there's a way to hit a child. I think I was not hit well. And one day I was actually staying in the backyard, and one of the bullying came. He was like talking to me and
To your
saying,
house.
do you have money? I was like, I don't have money. He said, if you don't have money, I will kill you. And when he was saying that, and he heard my mom's friend's son was coming, the first son. I was calling him brother because they were like family. I was calling him brother. So he thought something else. He said, who was that? I couldn't say it because if I say him, I would be in trouble. And the day he hit me in a spot that he was not supposed to hit me, and then I started having breathing problems. So even now I got breathing problems. I got internal bleeding. But I didn't know about it until I came here, and I went for a test and everything, and they had to do. They had to. I took injection every year, like every day for 1 year. That's what I did. So anyway, I left that house because I was so tired of the maltreatment, and it was really bad. So
Where did you go?
I left there, and I went back to my mom's. I went back to my mom's. They took me away because they said I told my mom I couldn't stay anymore, and I told my mom, hey, this is what's going on in the house. I didn't want to say anything, but I cannot stay. And in all this stuff that is going on, before my grandfather even before my grandfather even died, my mom actually remarried. And the whole reason my mom couldn't keep me at her house was because her husband didn't want me there.
I'm about to ask that. Like, how come you weren't able to go back home after?
Yeah, I mean, so I went back there because even if my mom keep telling me to go to other places, she never hit me once. So I thought, okay, maybe you'll be more safer with my mom. So I went back to my mom, and her husband started complaining again and say, my stepfather. And he said, he didn't want me there, he didn't want me there, he wanted me to leave. And my mom actually told me that I should go to my uncle's. I went to my uncle's. My uncle's, I felt rejected, and my uncle said he didn't want me to stay with him. And then my mom said, okay, I should come back to her house. I went back to her house again, and I had a huge fight with her because she was supporting my stepfather for something that she was not there when this stuff happened, because my stepfather asked me to buy something, and I bought whatever he asked me to buy. And he told me I took too long. I was like, yo, the store was not open, the other store was not open. I have to go far away to buy what you asked me to buy. So why are you complaining? He was complaining that he came on time. I was like, the important thing that I'm here and I bought what he asked me to buy. And
Ask, yeah.
yeah, and so that was what bring the problem. And he started yelling and yelling at me. I was like, yo, you shouldn't yell at me like that. Even my father does not yell at me like that. I was just, yeah, and I told my mom, yo, I know you don't look like a mother. You don't protect your kids. You choose another man over your kids. I told that stuff, and my mom that night she pushed me out of the house. And oh my God. And back then I was like 15. Yeah, I was 14 going to 15. And then I did my 15th birthday. Nobody knew I did my 15th birthday. Nobody, I didn't have an happy birthday. I've not even, when I was in Nigeria, like, I didn't celebrate my birthday. I didn't even know where, like, I didn't know how birthday looks like. I didn't have a birthday cake, gifts. It was really, helpful. And then, um, And then when I left my mom's house that night because she threw me out, I went to my dad's because I knew where he was staying, but I didn't have the courage to go meet him. I went to my dad, and my dad was taking care of me for just 1 week. I got to know him, I got to meet him, and I found out he was a Yoruba. I found he was a Yoruba man, and and I didn't even know I was a Yoruba or whatever. So, and
Where's your mom from?
my mom is from Delta State, in Ogele. So she speaks Urobo. So
Mercy's a true Wazobia.
yeah, I actually I stayed with my dad, and my dad got some things going on. He was not. I knew why my mom left. I knew why my mom had for divorce, and I was not. I said I cannot stay in this house with my dad because my dad was even worse. So what happened was that my mom called me and said she was sorry that she wanted me to leave Nigeria because she know that I've been through much pain, and she didn't even say sorry. She didn't say sorry. She said, "I know you've been through much pain."
How can
Yeah, she didn't say sorry.
African parents?
She didn't say sorry.
This is the story. This is the story.
Oh yeah, go.
Yeah, go. That's the story.
She said she didn't even say sorry. Oh. She said, hey, okay, there's a friend of mine is going to take you. She's going to take you to Italy, and she's going to make your life better. You know, you want to study. Okay. I swear to God, back then, hey, one English words, no, they come back to my mouth. Like really, I grew up in with the street English, the pidgin English. Hey, the pidgin English. So I speak
Na
more.
pidgin, Sabi. Yeah.
Yeah, I speak more pidgin past anything. So I didn't have. I had Jesus. I was really I was really good at primary school, but I was awful in secondary school. So what happened is that I went to my mom. I saw this woman, and she told me that she's going to take me here, and she's going to make my life better. I will go to school. I will get to study. I will get to get a good job, and I get to pay her back her money. I was like, yo, this is a great idea. I mean, I'm leaving this country, leaving my family that I don't even feel welcome. I'm leaving all these people and going to start my own life. I was like, yo, this is a great opportunity. So what I did,
And you're how old at this point?
I was 15.
You're 15 at this
Yeah, in
point.
this point, I was 15. I was like, yo, this is a good opportunity. It's a great opportunity. And I would go no matter what I had to do, like to go there. I would go there, but I'll pay the money later because I don't have any money with me. Obviously, I was 15. I got no job doing. And
So this is paying the man who helped you make the trip,
yeah,
like the expenses, paying her back.
Yeah, she said she was telling me that before I go, I need to swear that I have to pay her back the money. I was like, yo, my worst was like, okay, I will pay you the money once I get there because for me, when I was in that age, 15, I was like, okay, I will get to Europe. Obviously, I want to study, and when I study, the same time I'm going to school, I will be working at the same time because I felt I have the strength because when my grandfather was alive, my grandfather he was a farmer. He had a lot of years of land. He had a lot of land, and he had people working for him. So I said, hey, I can do this because I used to do this before. I can do anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I can do hardship. I can do hard work because I work in the farm with my grandfather, rooting Gary. Even if I was 10 years, I was rooting Gary. So I said I can do it. That there's nothing I can do. Even
Can you, yeah, would you know or remember like just like price range, what the undertaking financially is to make that trip, and how much were you expecting to pay
Pay
back?
back, yeah.
okay, so my mom talked to her, and she told my mom that the money was kind of 2 to 3 million in Nigerian money in naira,
Okay.
and in euro the money was 30,000 euros.
Okay.
So that's where it was really dumb because we didn't know how much is 30,000 euro convert to
I was gonna say,
naira.
Yeah.
that math is somehow.
we were
Let me check
we
it.
were tricked. We were tricked, so we didn't know.
Yeah.
So what happens that the moment I got here, she told me that when I got here, I can study and do my job, any work I want to do, then I'll pay her the money back. I was like, okay, 2 million, 3 million, that's not a problem. So when I got here, and I saw a woman, I mean, when I got here, I mean, the travel, I mean, the journey was fire. The journey, Jesus, the journey was really
Okay.
fire. They
So
just
before you tell us the journey, I'm going to just ask for one or two things. As you are telling us the journey, tell us where you stopped on your different stops, how long you were there for,
okay.
right? And then I guess why you stopped there.
By the way, 30,000 euros is almost 46 million
Yeah, yeah,
naira now.
yeah.
Okay, no, no, no. So this was how many years ago?
This was 2016.
Okay, so with a 20, that's roughly what, 150, 160? No,
2016,
as in
150.
euro to naira.
It has to be more, maybe
Yeah, yeah, it's mom.
300, 366, something like
She
that.
sha cheated you, clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did. But
Yeah.
the thing was that when I got here, you asked me a question before, right?
The journey, yeah. So you're about to tell us about like the actual travels,
Okay,
yeah.
the stopped.
Even the preparation before it too, I want to hear it. Like, okay, so when did you meet this person that was going to start you off on this journey? Was there a quick bye bye to mom and dad? What
Mm,
did you pack?
okay.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, before the journey, my mom and my stepdad prayed for me. So they prayed for me, and they're like, oh, I thought the journey was like just a I thought it.
That's
Just
a
a
quick,
light,
yeah,
just
quick,
in and
quick.
out.
I swear to God, I thought the journey was just like from here reach there, and I didn't know.
Mm, yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know. I didn't even know what I was. I didn't even know what I was doing, where I was going. I don't know. So I started from Benin. Yeah, from Benin, and I went to Lagos. Was it? Yeah, from Benin to
Okay.
Lagos, from Lagos to Kano. Then from Kano to Katina, from Katina to Niger. From Niger,
Okay.
I went to Libya. First, I started in Gatron. And I went to Gatron, from Gatron, I went to Subrata. And from Subrata, I went to the seaside. And
Okay.
So all this trip were in a car, were in a truck, are there other people? Is it just you?
bike, truck. No, it was not just me. We were okay. So this is the funny thing. The thing is that it was not just me. In Nigeria, I left with 30 people, like 30 other people. So with me, include me, 31. So we got
Okay.
to the desert, right? We get to their side, and the their side, someone fell from the Helios, from the car, from the Helios, the Toyota Helios. Someone fell from there,
Oh,
and we were all shouting. We were like, "Oh, um, we call it
somebody don't fall. Yeah.
we told him to stop so that we can pick up the person that fell down. He didn't stop. We left that person there to
Hmm.
die
In the
in
desert.
the desert. And on our way going, we saw people that have been dead for like I don't know how many years, people or months. Some of them they still got first skin, but they're dead. And we had to stop in the middle. We have to stop in the desert for 3 days because they got the police, Libyan police and Niger police running around. So to see who is crossing and who is not crossing, if someone is inside the territory without a proper permit.
Yeah.
So we stayed in the desert for 3 days, no food, no water, and I fainted. I fainted like I don't know how many times I fainted. And there was a girl, very very nice person, very very nice person. She was always there, and she was always taking care of me. But one thing is that they stole my money, the money that the woman gave to me to during the journey. They stole the money, and I was left with nothing. So
So
lucky.
the woman wasn't on the journey with you.
No, she used the plane. She used the plane from Nigeria to Italy, and she let me use the whatever she let me. Hey, Hannah, that's what she did though. So she used plane from Nigeria to Italy, and but me, she let me use 15 years. I was even saying that I was young in that
Yeah.
age to go like that alone. When I got to the desert, side, I saw children like more younger than me of 12 years old, 10 years old, 8 years old, even baby 2 years old, or even 9 months. Like, ha. Even some pregnant women, there was there in the desert without no food. I had to share my food, the little one I have with the water, with a 12-year-old from the desert. The baby came with me. I didn't even know the mother. Maybe the mother died in the desert. We don't know. I don't know the mother. So we took the baby. I was the one taking care of the baby. And after those 3 days, those 3 days was awful. And we went to, I think we went to Gatron in Libya. We went to Gatron or something like that. I think Gatron, that's the name of the city. And then we spent only like few hours
Okay,
there.
sorry. Just to clarify, if you are so Niger is the end of, I guess, West Africa for the most part.
Okay, so Niger, it shared border with Katsina in Nigeria. So Niger share
Okay,
border
yeah.
with Castina. So and from Niger to Libya, it's not that once you enter the desert, it's not that far away again. So
Okay.
we got to Libya, and this baby was still with us, and we couldn't find who to give the baby. And then another woman take responsibility because I couldn't take responsibility of a 12 year old, and I was 15. So I am
15, yeah.
yeah. So we got there, and when we got to the seaside, actually, we saw people that already drowned. They were just taking the body away from the sea and keeping the body somewhere. We don't know where they put the body. And there is a place in Libya called the Connection House and the White House. And then yeah, Connection House and the White House. The Connection House is where most of the West African, not only West African girls, but other girls also, they actually, or they're forced to be prostituted, or they voluntary it was the voluntary, and they just wanted to do it with their own will. So some of them have been there for like years 2 to 3 years. Some of them have been there for months. But I think the woman that took me, she was very fast with the money. She was paying very fast, so they had to cross me very fast too. So when I got to Libya, I got to the seaside, and I thought it was going to be a boat, like a good boat, like boats when you go with engine with all this stuff. It was not a boat. We call this lapa lapa. I don't know what the name in. I don't.
Don't tell me that we have
You are paddle.
paddles.
Yeah, the balloon made with
Hey,
balloon. Yeah, yeah. That's where we
To
went.
cross the Mediterranean.
Exactly, exactly.
To cross the Mediterranean.
Exactly. That's where we were inside, and you know how many we were? We're like 200. No, we're not. We're 100 or something, not 200. We're 150 or 180 in one little. What they did was to put the kids in the middle. They put the kids in the middle. They put all the women around the kids, and sorry, they put the kids in the middle, pregnant woman close to the kids, and the other people around the pregnant woman, and the men had to sit at the edge in the middle. Oh God, and it was very very scary. I was,
yeah.
I don't know, I was like, God, if I want to die, I give myself to you, because at this point I had no power of my own, and even if I can swim, how the hell will I even swim from?
Yeah, where
Swim
you
to where?
going? Yeah.
How the hell will I do it? And
What did you have with you still at that point?
nothing, nothing, nothing.
So no bag, like you don't have
I didn't
any.
even have nothing.
Literally, you and just
It was
yourself.
just me, myself, and the phone number I put in my bra. The phone number of the woman I put in my bra. That's just it. I didn't have any other thing, nothing at all. So
So no paperwork, nothing.
nothing, no document, nothing, nothing at all. So we got here. And we got to the Mediterranean Sea, and we were just in the middle of the sea. I think we left by 10 o'clock in the night, and we got to eat. We got to see Italy. We got to Italy by in the next morning. Was I think it was already morning. I think maybe 11 o'clock. So usually I think we were.
So it took one day. It took one day to cross
No,
from
no, no,
Libya
no,
to Italy.
no. It's
No, it took like 12, 13 hours.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It took like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 13 hours. I don't know. So we were in the sea, and the thing is that the machine, like the machine indication was spoiled, so we didn't know where we were going. The It was just a wave taking us where they want. So
No
the
GPS, just vibes.
the GPS, so the waves took us to a certain place, and the rescue ship saw us with the obviously with the in location tracker, whatever they use. They saw us, and they stopped, and they rescued us.
Wow.
And when I got to Italy, and she told me that the moment I got to Italy, I should never for any reason tell them I was 15 years old. So when I got to Italy, and they asked me my age, I was like, I was born in 1980 something. She told me, and they told me 1980 something. They say, oh, they didn't even speak English. That was the thing. They didn't speak English at all. And instead of 1980 something that I told them, they put 1999. And 1999, the women that put it, that's not my date of birth, because I'm younger. And she actually helped me, because when you're a minor in Italy, you got more rights, you got more things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you
protections.
got more protection and rights. So I came here, and I went to the shelter, because they put all the minors in one shelter and all the adults in another shelter, and also the boys that are minor in one shelter, the boys that's adults in another shelter. So I was there. I was going to wait for them to like I have to thumbprint and give me my document. So I thumbprint, and the moment I thumbprint, I told her I was in Italy. She told me to come to her house to live with her. I was like, ooh, so if I come to live with her, I don't have to pay rent or whatever. She told me to be to not worry. So I went to this woman's house, hoping that my life.
Okay, wait, hold
Before you
on.
get
Yeah, yeah,
there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One or two
yeah.
questions. One or two questions.
Last, you left us at they put us in shelter.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, two questions. One, did everybody in that boat make it onto the rescue ship?
Okay, so not everybody. There was just only one girl in particular that fell down from the step that we were climbing from. Oh, there was a step. We were climbing from down to up to go inside the
Mm-hmm.
rescue
Enter the
boat.
ship, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the ship. And she fell down, and her head hit the what you call the yeah, her head hit it, and her head was like open like this, cut into two, so her skull was actually at, and yeah. So she
You
died.
guys should see Mercy's face as she's telling this story. Like, it's just so like
I have seen a lot of
that's
people
a lot
died.
of yeah, yeah.
Like
It sounds
That's
like maybe
the
she's still even processing it herself, to be fair.
yes, 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 yes,
yeah,
yes. What's that thing actually? Like the motor, I guess.
thing is the motore,
Oh, I thought,
motor, yeah, yeah, the one that's under the sea that rolls. In,
Yeah.
yeah,
oh, like the rotor.
yeah.
Engineer.
Okay.
I don't really know.
Okay, second question.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So what are you thumbprinting for? Are you now applying as an asylum seeker, as a refugee? Like what's the
No. So in
and you are all of by this time everyone that has talked to you thinks you are older than
younger? They
18.
actually think she's
the
Oh,
younger.
yeah.
okay, so yeah, because they put you
System
in
as
the
younger.
yes, which initially I think the lady that was helping you didn't want you to be in, but the person that like rescued you guys from the sea recognized that you'd get more benefits if you were younger, so they went ahead and put you down as younger. Correct?
Okay, no. The when I got there, I told them I was older. I told them I was older. They didn't believe me that I was older. So instead of putting the year I told them, they ended up putting 1 year younger. They ended up putting 1 year younger.
Than you.
That yeah, and they took me to the manual shelter because they look at me and they say, no, 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 you don't look older. You don't look older.
You're not an adult.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's how they took me to the mining shelter. And the other question, what was the other question again?
The paperwork. What were you applying?
Okay, so I
Yeah.
was not applying for anything. In Italy, the law states that in any migrants that enter in the system had to complete so that if the for example, someone commit a crime, or for example, you're looking for someone to hand over the document, or tell them that you just put in the name, or
It's just having a
you just
database
yeah,
of
you just have
yeah, who's
everything.
coming in.
So that's the reason. So yeah.
So they don't turn people back in Italy.
Hmm?
They don't turn people back.
Okay, so the reason why they also do that, the template, is because you stayed in the Europe system. They before when it comes to Italy, you'll be allowed to go anywhere and stay there, and then you template with there and get your own document. But now you can't do that anymore because where you template, you have to stay there and live there. And if you have to go to another European country, you will start from square one again. Like you will do everything all over again. So when I got to the shelter and she told me to come to her house and wherever, I went to her house and she told me, "Hey, do you know that?" No, the first day she was very very nice to me. She was very very nice, and she told me she cooked. I would eat. I went to her house on Friday. I stayed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Sunday in the afternoon, she told me she wanted to take me somewhere. I was like, ooh, maybe. she's taking me for to show the road of the school I have to go to, or maybe she find a job for me that I have to be doing. And what I did, I went with her, and she told me, "Hey, she brought me to a bush, a forest, and she told me this is where I will be walking." I was like, "What do you mean? This is where I'll be walking? Like, this is not the deal. This is not what you told my parents. Like, I don't understand."
Yeah.
And she told me, "Yeah, in Italy, there is no job. The only thing you can do here is just prostitution, and you can always sell yourself and get money." I was like, "What? I'm 15. Like, I cannot."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I cannot do it." And when we left the place and we were walking back to our house, I was just crying. And she told me, "You better not
Yeah.
cry and save your tears because this is what you'll be doing." And what happened was, before I was going to a house, on my way to a house, I was with a sleepers. I was with a cross, with a pen in it, and I was dressed badly. I mean, when you see person when they suffer, a person when they say they want for something, you will know now. So, and I saw a guy, an Egyptian guy. He told me, "Do you know where you're going? Do you know what you will do? Do you know what pigas do in this place?" I only speak English, and I said, "I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what they're gonna use me to do or wherever. But I trust the woman because my mom trusts her." And he told me that, "Be careful. If you need any help, take my number." And I took his
Wow.
number. And also, at the seaside, there was a lady that gave me a card, and she told me to hide the card. When I'm in trouble, I should call her. So I took that card also. I had everything in my bra so that she cannot see. So on Monday of me leaving, staying in a house, on Monday she took me there. She said on Monday I will start working. I told her, "Okay, no problem. I will start working on Monday. I will give her back her money doing prostitution." I told her to be patient, that everything will be fine. And what happened on Monday is that, play with me with it. Don't play with me or
Mercy send I'm
with
off.
me. Once I will make you believe heaven ahead. So she took me there. Very so luckily she don't work in that same spot. She work in another same spot. And
So she was
yeah,
also
yeah, she
prostituting?
yeah. And so what happened is that
So she brought you there to be trafficked. That's kind of annoying and very.
so that Monday, on the spot, she left me there with food, with water, and everything. And she tell a friend to come check on me every 5 minutes. Uh, every 5 minutes. And there was a man, and very old, stupid man. He told me that I should come. I should come, and I said he should give me money first. He gave me the money. I kick him in his and I run away. I run away. I took his money and I run away. And I so lucky. I think God was by my side that day. So lucky. I saw a bus.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a bus, and I tried calling number. I called the Egyptian boy first, and he picked my call. He told me to give the driver the phone, and he speak to the driver, and the driver told me to come down somewhere. I come down there. I came down there, and I called the Italian woman that gave me her number, and she told me to come to a city close to Napoli, and I like because this woman lives in Napoli, and I said okay. So this Egyptian guy took me to the train station. He bought a ticket for me. He didn't ask me for anything. He was really really kind, and I was like, okay, God was really by my side because
Angels,
I
yeah.
was very lucky. I will swear to you, I'm very lucky because when I, when I left there, I said the woman, and the woman asked me if I still recognize the woman that took take me from Nigeria. I said I don't recognize her, but I only know her name. And they're like, okay. And before you know, they'll take me to a police station. They take me, they don't take me to police station. And they asked me what happened. I told them that the woman told me to come here to work and study, da 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 da. And I told her I don't know the woman. Even if I knew her, I told them that I didn't know the woman, but I only know her name. And so, like, what happened is that this
You didn't want to give the woman
no,
up.
I didn't want to give her up. And what happened is that they gave me a list of pictures of women that did this thing in the past. Their pictures was in the form of what you call this where you keep your picture,
Like a binder.
the album of a picture, right? And everything was in the album. So there was moving from space to space, page to page. Sorry, they were going from page to page and looking at my reaction. They were looking at my eyes. They were observing my
Mm,
reaction to know if I get the reaction of being scared of something. So they were moving page to page, and they got to our page. I was like, what the hell? How did they get there? How did they have the picture? I was like, what the heck? And then they told me that every woman there has been reported by young girls to the police, but they've been trying to catch all those women, and they couldn't catch them because they always run away. And when they got to our page, they told me that if it's this woman, she has been reported for also drug dealing with some other men. I was like, I couldn't lie at that moment. I was like, yeah, it's her.
yeah,
And she has already, they have, some other people have already reported before with another man.
yeah.
And that man ended up being his brother. And so what happened is that they had to put me in a protection camp, and she got arrested, and she got arrested for trafficking a 17-year-old girl. But I was not 17, I was 15. So either find out I was
Mm-hmm.
15, the punishment would have been severe. It would have
Yeah.
been severe, and I was saying that in the system, even now, the year remains the same, and it would have been severe. But anyway, they let her go. No, they didn't let her go. She was in prison for 5 years, and after 5 years, I don't know what happened to her. I've not heard about her. I've not asked my lawyer about it. I don't even know anything about it. But my lawyer told me that I shouldn't worry, that she won't go close to my family in Nigeria, or she won't go close. She won't even come close to me. And she's if she comes out of the prison, she's supposed to stay like very, very far away from me.
They have a restraining order on her, yeah.
Yeah,
Or something of that sort, yeah.
yeah. And so I've been living, what I've done with my life was really great since the past few years. I've been going to school. I've been working the same time I work and go to school. And I started working in a shelter, also helping other girls that pass through the same thing. West African, to be precise. And I work in the rescue boat sometimes. So it is really important to have like someone that understands you in a boat. When you just arrive,
Yeah.
you need to explain to them and tell them, hey, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. If someone tell you to come here, he's gonna help you, don't trust the person. The person's using you for prostitution and everything.
Yeah.
So I do this work, and I'm really proud of the work I do, because I know that even if I started doing this work like 3 years ago, I know how many people I have taken away from the hands of the traffickers.
Yeah.
Really, from the hands of the traffickers. I know how many people, I can't even count. There's a lot of girls have fallen into this same problem. And so lucky,
Mm,
I got the asylum just few months after
nice.
I got asylum, and I started going to school. I started everything from square one, so every school from square one, and I'm still doing the
I have
same
so many
job.
questions.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
So, um, when was the first time after all of this was going on that you felt like, okay, I can breathe now, I can relax now,
Yeah.
it's over. When was the first time you were able to actually call back home and say, see, you see that woman that we discussed one or two, we, you understand?
Mm,
When were you able to do that? Where were you at that point? Now that you have the asylum status, do you have a path to citizenship?
yeah.
And just also for context, if you don't mind sharing too as well, because all of this was happening when you were 15 and in 2016, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was 2016.
It's been like 8 years now.
Yeah, yeah, about 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So yeah, when did you first feel comfortable?
I think it's 2018. In 2018, I felt a little bit comfortable, but for all the problem that happened and all the stuff that went wrong, my childhood, my trauma, I started going to talk to how you call it, um a
Therapist.
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 I went to therapist and started talking, and it's not been easy because everything is stuck in my mind. I see dream about dead people.
Yeah.
I see yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. It's a trauma for me. Like I talk about it
I can't imagine.
easily. I talk about it very frequently, easily. I go to many university in here in the city where I stay to tell them about the story. I've done a lot of things. I've went to schools, elementary schools. Mm, I've told them about the story, and still the trauma is still in me. I think it's something that I will not get
Yeah.
rid of. I cannot get rid of it. I cannot. I cannot do anything about it. So I'm just trying to live with it because it's my past. It was just like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, but it felt as if it's fresh and it's
Yes,
still in
CJ.
my head. And from the citizenship, yeah, I got asylum, and for the citizenship, I'm going to try to ask my citizenship this year. Yeah, I have a right. I
Nice.
have a right of citizenship. Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, so what is it like also? Because I feel like I've been hearing about like trafficking, women trafficking in of Nigerian women in Italy,
Yes, we actually hear
like
it a
a
lot.
lot. Like I've
Yeah.
been hearing about. I feel like I only maybe became aware of that maybe like in 2016, 2015. And everyone was just talking about it like, oh yeah, you didn't know this is a huge thing, but like this is legitimately a problem, and now we can see how all of that is happening.
Yeah, I don't get a friend of mine who called me. Like he sent me a long text message, and he was like, this was last year, and he was like, "Oh, mercy! I just watched a documentary about the trafficking in Italy and all the young Nigerian women." I was like, "Oh, you didn't know before?" And he was like, "No, he didn't know anything
Yeah,
about
I
it."
Mm-hmm.
wonder what it is. Yeah, I wonder what it is that like why that particular pipeline. Why Nigeria to Italy.
So because Italy, I found that while working in this social service and because I took my diploma and it's a technical service social social service, yeah, something like that. That's the title. So when doing all this 5 years of studying, I went to when there's always an event about immigrants, about black people, I'm always there. So and I went there, and a woman, she was speaking pidgin, and she was an Italian, and she told a story about how the trafficking started. So it was not even Nigerian that started the trafficking in Italy. It was the Ghanaian women that started it. So the Ghanaian women,
Wow.
yeah, the Ghanaian women started taking Nigerian women to Italy, make them do prostitution. But then after then they stopped. They stopped, and when they stopped, the Nigerian continue from where they
Take
start.
over.
Yeah, and now the thing is that in this few lately in 2023, 2022, we Nigerian women stop coming to Italy. They're not coming anymore. They have been stopped. They have been stopped in the middle of the way, and they will take them to Libya because they're not in Libya. Nobody will do them anything. But in Italy, they have the right to report the case. They have the right to go to the
Mm,
police station. So when they're in Libya, they don't have that right. But when they're in Italy, they have the right. So what these traffickers, these human traffickers do is to take the girls from Nigerian and take them to Libya and leave them in Libya so that they don't come to Italy to report the case. So as the
Gotcha.
Nigerian own stopped. The ones that's starting now is the French, the francophone,
franc-
yeah,
francophones.
yeah, francophones, the French people of the mostly the Ivory Coast, Cameroons. They are the ones starting now. They are the one. They will come to Italy, and from Italy they will go to France. So,
Mm,
so we didn't. I mean, actually, we didn't know about all this phenomenon. I mean, I work in an association, and we are against human trafficking. So we actually found out recently that these girls, francophone, they just come to Italy, and from Italy they go to France because the women that taking them, they don't live in Italy. They go to France because also they speak French, so it's more easy for them.
Mm.
And also everything also started not but the fault is not even of the women of the Ghanaian women. The fault was the Italian men. So there will not be traffic. There will not be human trafficking. There will not be a child in the street to be sexually harassed if there is not a seeker. The seeker are the Italian
yeah,
men that
there's a demand.
yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
demand it. So they ask for it. So since they ask for it, there will be someone bringing it for them. This is how the trafficking work. They ask for it, they get it, and they
Yeah, I think everybody's a part of the problem.
yeah.
Everybody's a part of the
Yeah,
problem. Yeah.
yeah. I have a question about, I guess, raising yourself,
Mm.
because for the most part, you realistically, even back in Nigeria, you weren't necessarily being raised by adults the way you should have been, and now you are
Bruh.
now in a foreign country as a minor, raising yourself. What was that experience like? Like, how do you wake up even with all the trauma that has
Yeah.
existed in your past to say, I'm grinding every day, I'm working towards
Bruh.
something?
Bruh. Mercy, a champion. Oh. After
You
she
really
took
are.
that guy's money, kicked him in balls and started running in a country that she does not know her left from her right. I said, okay, she
Yeah.
get mind. She get mind.
And I think it was the people surrounding me. I think it was the educators. In the shelter, we have some educator. They just like they had. I mean, I was when I came here. It took me only 3 months to learn the language. I don't know why, but
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
parli italiano?
Bilingual.
Sì, sì, parlo italiano molto bene, anche in siciliano se vuoi parlare ovviamente. Penso che non parlerai in siciliano perché
Okay,
io so parlare.
Ah.
mercy. Okay, mercy.
Come si dice piccolo?
Piccolo, small is piccolo.
Yeah, so I speak Italian small.
Poco, poco. Parlo italiano poco.
Poco,
Sì, sì,
poco,
poco.
poco, poco,
Poi-
poco,
Mm.
poco.
My Italian, zero.
Zero.
yeah.
And that one.
Do you guys speak Spanish also?
No hables
Un
inglés.
poquito. Un
No,
poquito.
poquito. Muy bien, muy bien.
Sí. Muy bien. Gracias, gracias.
Okay. ¿Qué
Hablo un
más,
poquito de
Lucy?
español porque ya estudié a la escuela.
All right, all right, all right,
She's
all right,
flexing now.
all right.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, raising yourself. Yeah. So like the educators empowered you.
yeah, I think it was more of going to school and trying to focus more of my on myself and trying to forget my problems. But even if I know that this problem won't go away very easily, but it was just me trying to blend myself into the culture, the system, and everything, and trying to be how should I put it, migliorare, cioè, to to improve myself, and get more money, go to school, be smart, and try to look for a way to open a business, to also I have done a lot of things to have like um, opportunities. So I've worked a lot because in Italy, the system says that in 16, you have the right to like start doing these small jobs like um, those 6 months job. What I call it? Um, how do you call the 6 months job? Um,
Internship co-op.
Yeah, those stuff like that. So in Italy, you can do those work even if you're 50, 15, 16, 17. If you want to do it, you can. I started doing that, So I started making money, putting money, saving a lot of money. I started like to take care of more of my mental health by going to therapy, and yeah. I think I think nobody helped me. It was just me, um,
And your
and
will.
my will. And I think I didn't also move on so fast because I was so fucking depressed. Sorry, using the term. I was really depressed, and
Yeah.
going to therapy was not helping for nothing. It's not help. It didn't help me at all. It didn't help me at all. I had to go. I had to like even till now. Sometimes I just go to the seaside. I just sit close to the seaside, and I just be looking there, and I just be like, I don't even know. I just try to breathe, leave my problem, to meditate, and then go back home. I do other stuff. I think it's crazy, but I do all this. In the night, I just wake up and take my slippers and just walk to the seaside, sit at the sand, and just be looking at the sea, like, and try to meditate and then go home. I've been doing this for the past years, and it's it's not been easy. And when going to school, I started going to school, and I had a friend back then, and she was the one that she was a very good listener. She liked to listen to people's story. So I was talking to her more often, and I was really happy that she was in the school. Although we don't, after the school, we don't go out or anything. So I always talk to her when we see each other at school. And back in 2018, when I was really happy talking to her, trying to like get things off my chest, and she died. She died in 2018, the
Wow.
summer, and I think all my she died. Where did she die? She died in the sea because it was summer. Everybody was going to swim, and our brother
Oh
drowned.
my
Yeah, our
goodness.
brother drowned because our brother, they can swim very well. They can swim very well. It was just the current that took them away. So our brother went first, and she was trying to save our brother, but she couldn't, and she came out of the scene, and she breathed just for 30 minutes, and she gave up, and we she didn't make it to the hospital, and we found our brother body after 3 days. And she was actually the person that listened to me very well and does not judge me, does not tell me, hey, your parents abandoned you. And because I got someone who told me that. And that was the first time I ever fight somebody in my life. I don't know how to fight. Even my mom's friends, children, when they beat me up, I don't know how to defend myself. I don't know how to fight. And when someone tell me that shit, it actually
Mhm.
taught me. I fought that person that day. I was like, yo, you can't tell me that. I went crazy.
Mhm.
Nobody could stop me. I went crazy because I was also in therapy. You don't say that to me, that my parents are bothering me or
Mhm.
stuff. I was really, really angry, and I had to fight that girl. But I still regret it because I hate violence. I don't like when someone raise
Mhm.
hand on me. Yeah, I don't like it. So, and ever since then, I'm not get. I think deeply I am still struggling to move on because just even few
Yeah.
days for some days back I was just thinking I was like yo my life has been a mess but my life has still been great because I had Italian I had an Italian woman that called my mom. She told me never ever call me auntie, don't call me signora, just call me mom. So I took her as my Italian mom, and she's been there for day one, and she's been really good to me. And I got some Nigerian friends here, and they are really good to me. And I don't often mingle with my Nigerian friends. I have to mingle with the
Mm-hmm.
I have to mingle with the Colombians, the other of my friends, Senegalese, Ivorian, and I have to go out with them. But I have a best friend that she's a Nigerian, and I often go out because of my work and everything. So when I don't go
What
anywhere,
about like interactions with other like Italians? Like, I mean, I don't know if you had been out of the country before this experience. Had you ever left
okay, I've been to many
Nigeria before?
Nigeria.
Yes, like before you went to Libya, then ultimately came to Italy. Had you ever been away from Nigeria before? Had you ever traveled before?
I think when I was little, I think when I was little, my parents traveled a lot. I think
Oh,
I
okay,
think I think it was maybe Togo and Ghana.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like for the most part, like this was your first time outside of Africa. So
Yeah.
like, what was your expectation for like dealing with other Italians? Was there any racism? Did you feel any
Oh,
prejudice? What was that like?
oh, Italians. They always say, "We're not racist. We're not racist. We're not racist." But they are very, very racist. Very racist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's
They
one thing
are.
I've heard is that.
They are very
Yeah.
But
racist.
but I my quick stint of study abroad, we were in Venice, and I come with my other American friends from uni. And
Mm.
like when we go out and we just walk around, like when we get to the restaurant or something, they'll just say, "I'm so sorry for all those looks." Like they were like, they them
Yeah.
they recognize they like even like a little part of me, I was like, exit
Yeah.
from my. They
Yeah.
were like, "Bro, what was happening just now?" I was like, "Yeah, this is normal P." And I was like, for them to notice, I was like,
It had to have been obvious.
"Do you
Yeah.
understand?"
Yeah, I think the thing is that you know how to if you want to talk to these racist people, you just have to know the language and know your rights. Because sometimes I've been like they just be talking and talking and talking, and they don't know I speak the language. And sometimes I just say, "Hey, to send
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about." And then the thing is that more when you live in another because in Italy everybody got their own dialect. Where I live, we got our own dialect. We have the
Mm.
general language, which is Italian language. Then we have the dialect. So when people don't want you to know what they're talking about, they speak dialect.
Okay. So I'm curious to know now, like, what is your relationship like with your parents, like your family back home? Did they know everything that happened to you when you got here?
Mm, they don't know. I mean, the only person I know is my uncle that lives in Germany. So he came here at the same. He used the same process. So he's the only one that can understand what I've been through. So
Mm-hmm.
my mom, every time I try to tell my mom about it, she's like, she gave me the attitude as if she don't care. So I don't like talk to her about stuff like this. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, African parents, some of them they are interested in money. So that's why you give them money, everything will be
Mm-hmm.
offered. So that's my mom. She's wanting money, and she's really trying now. I'm really surprised because lately she's been trying to come close to me and trying to be a
Mm-hmm.
mom for me. But I think I can. I will let it happen, but I think it's late. And because
Yeah.
yo, the time I wanted that all the actation.
I
Yeah, I
needed
need
that.
not even
Needed,
Yeah.
not
wanted,
wanted. Needed
needed.
that.
The time I needed that, hey,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
she was not there, so I was like, it's too late, oh, it's too late, really. It's really
mm-hmm,
really late because she's trying everything as much as possible to be close to me, but it's not possible. You can't just wake up one
Yeah.
morning and say you want to correct a
mm-hmm,
mistake of my whole life. Like, no.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I mean, what's that final question that you had for me?
Okay, so knowing what you know now about this entire
Hmm.
journey, would you have done it again, even with like the life that you now have in Italy?
No, because I would have more of go to school and um trying to not stay with my mom, try to do something else, and try to go to school and ask for a
Mm-hmm.
scholarship to study abroad. I would have done that instead
Mm-hmm.
of what I went through. What I went through, a lot of people could
Yeah.
have avoided it to look for
Mm-hmm.
another opportunity to come to Europe here
Mm-hmm.
because you can still come with your passport, but you have to come here for a good reason. Because if you don't come here for a good reason, they don't give you a ID, a document. They don't give you a permit to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So you deter anyone that was somewhat considering this route in any shape or form regarding, the circumstances back home, you'd still
Mm-hmm.
deter them 100% from going through what you went through.
Exactly. I won't want anybody to go
Got
to
it.
Mm-hmm.
where I went to. It was really rough, and there were some people who even went to hell more than the one I went through. Some people journey took
Mm-hmm.
3 months, 5 months, 1 year. Like it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let anybody go through this. I wouldn't advise anybody at all, not even my enemy to go through it because it's risky. It's a 50-50. One might die and one might survive. So no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And you were one of the lucky ones, honestly, because
Mm-hmm.
another like version of this, like even at South by Southwest, there's another film I saw about it was interviewing the family of the people who went, and like their family members are lost. Like they have no idea where they are. They don't know if they're alive. They don't know if they made it. Like
Yeah.
it's like so to have somebody who actually successfully made it and is now able to like start a new life is it's very far and few between.
The funny thing is that I have two friends. They are Eritrea from Eritrea, and they lost their parents. They lost their mother, their dad, the older brother, and the older sister. And there are two of them. They don't know
Mm,
where they're from. They don't know their village. They don't know anything. And we all grew up together because we were all. The other guy was 15 as me, and the sister was 13. And he cannot remember anything because he had trauma. So he had trauma. So
yeah,
he
it
blocked
blocked.
her. He don't remember anything. So he's all grown up now, and he still don't remember anything. So there's a
Mm-hmm,
girl also that came here at 9 years old. She don't know anything. She don't even know if she's a Nigerian or she's an Ivorian. She has to go make a test.
mm-hmm,
And the 12-year old that came with us too, we don't know her parents. We don't know where she's from. We just met her in Libya and took care of her. So we don't know anything. So when she got
mm-hmm,
here, she got adopted by Italian family. She was in adoption.
mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people here. They're adopted, but they don't know their origin.
All right. Well, Mercy, thank you so much for sharing
You're
your story
welcome.
with us. Thank you for
We really
trusting us with your
appreciate it.
story also. Yes. Um I presume that you do not want the people to find you. You don't want anybody to
No,
know anything
I
about
don't
you.
really. I just keep my privacy very reserved. I'm a very reserved person.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that. And for everybody who
Makes
is
sense.
listening, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this episode has given you some insight into this world. Um don't forget to like, subscribe, also donate to our fundraiser. We are raising
DRC.
Uh
$1,000
huh.
for the Democratic Republic of Congo and Sudan. We will match your donations. Let's make it happen, guys.
All right.
And until next week, Mercy, let me just say
Yeah.
this. Your Italian accent is there, but your Nigerian accent is there.
Okay,
She's
so
hiding there.
Mhm.
She came out 1 or 2 times.
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's funny because my fiance is American, and he sometimes when he talks to me, he started talking to me like a year ago, and my English was really bad because I was like I said before, I had Nigerian friends, but I have more Italian friends, Colombian friends. They speak Spanish and they speak English, so the stuff that often come to my head is Spanish and English, more Spanish and Italian. So more of Italian. Since in my school we were all Italians, and I was the only black girl in school, and yeah. So gradually, the language was leaving me, and when my friends, I started talking to my friends, my boy, my fiance, and the English came back and said, "Where did they go? I don't know."
Yeah, yeah,
I came back immediately. No, I
yeah.
cannot forget my roots. Oh, those are my roots. No,
Come on.
last, I'll go back to
Period.
Nigeria. So I must know. Even hey, I can't just forget about my roots like that.
Oh, do you plan on
Huh?
going
Yeah, I'm
back?
planning on going back. No, I'm planning on going back. Yeah, to see my parents, and
Okay.
even if I mean my childhood was rough and everything, but I don't see them for 8 years now, and it's been very long. And one is because of my parents. I should say one is because of food, and two is because of my parents. And I miss the food. I miss everything. I think the food we get here, it looks like Nigerian food, but the taste, the taste is different.
You
You
never,
It's
you
not
never,
the
can
you
same.
know,
never.
you
It's not the
know,
Yeah,
same.
yeah. No
how
one.
they talk you know,
No, same, same.
yeah, don't be same,
Yeah,
same.
same, same. Because even me now, when I went
Mm.
to Lagos, the only thing I went there for is food. Forget, okay, yeah, yeah, I'll see family and friends. But you see that ever going that is on
I
my
swear
mind.
to God.
I need to eat it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
right.
All right,
All
yeah.
right. Well,
Bye.
have a
Ciao,
ciao,
ciao.
ciao, ciao, ciao.
Arrivederci.